Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
Well, the Phillies lose Game 2 against the New York Mets in Citi Field by a score of 1-0. They get shut out by Jacob deGrom. The way I would label this game, though, they competed their asses off, and some would question how in the world is that so if you can't get one run across the board. And this is my explanation. Heading into this game, there were multiple storylines, and one of them was to keep up the good defense. I'm watching Rhys Hoskins charge a bunt, turn 2, Bryson Stott gets the ball over to first base beautifully. You got guys covering the bags properly. You knew that you would have to keep up that level on that side of the diamond to stay involved. They absolutely did that. You needed Aaron Nola to shine. Are you serious? I mean, he clearly had a dominant performance. Other than the early run, he was in shutdown mode. So both times now, whether it was Ranger Suarez or Aaron Nola, they did their job against Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. And then from a Phillies offensive standpoint, you wanted to make sure that when you went to the bullpen, New York, this was a close game. This was a battle. This was, hey, you still got a shot here. It was a one-run game. And then in the ninth, you got yourself Sosa stealing second base, a couple guys on. And no doubt about it, you would love to see Nick Castellanos have a big-time moment for this team, because it seems as if everybody else has carried the team for at least a little bit of time, and he has not yet. And ironically enough, Tyrone Johnson on Friday during our radio show mentioned that it's his time. It's his calling. He needs to show up, especially without Kyle Schwarber. Now, it's nice to see Kyle Schwarber at least available for the fellas if a pinch hit opportunity was needed. So just something to monitor. And then no Gene Segura in this one. Another thing to keep your notepad going with is who's there, who's not, who's playing, who's this, who's that. But of course, they're trying to just work Gene Segura in as best as possible with the current circumstances. I'm not mad at all. Everything I've asked of this team when going to Queens, they've done. They beat Max Scherzer, and in this one, it's another coin flip game. I thought game 1 was a coin flip game where the Phillies ended up doing it. Matt Vierling, there were a lot of great things that we absolutely loved. And in this one, another coin flip. Who stuck their neck out? Jacob deGrom did. Diaz did. So that's how it went. Not going to cry about it. Wheeler tomorrow. That excites me. You're telling me he gets the ball in his old stadium against some of his former teammates to win the damn series, as he's one of the most electric pitchers in not just the National League, but in all of baseball? Yeah, I can't wait for first pitch tomorrow. I'm all ready to rock. Now, I did feel that the way this Phillies team has went so far, they do this. They do this one. I did. Deep down, I thought that they were going to do it. Especially with Castellanos. I felt strong about it. Well, I was wrong. Some outside pitches on the outside part of the plate. And then, it's lather, rinse, repeat with him when he's in the batter's box. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I just don't know if this year he'll snap out of it the way that we need him to. Unfortunately. Will it eventually happen here in Philadelphia? Yeah, I think so. Just right now, he looks lost and confused, and, he's up there guessing, but he shouldn't be, because you know what's coming. You just keep swinging at it and swinging at stuff that, really isn't as competitive as he feels it is in his brain as it's leaving the pitcher's hand. Jacob deGrom, around the 5th inning, started to dip down to 99, 98, right? You see 102, 101, and you think to yourself, this is hysterical. 1, 2, 3 innings, 1, 2, 3 innings, and there's really not much you can do. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at Nick Maton or anybody else who's up at the plate who can't get a hold of one when Jacob deGrom is executing at that type of rate, because that is damn special and arguably the greatest that we may ever see in our lifetimes. I mean, that's how unreal he is. But once he started to go to 99, 98, I'm laughing because I'm trying to convince myself that maybe there's something to this. Hey, his velocity's only 99 now. I'm only seeing 99-mile-per-hour fastballs. Maybe this is where you have the chance. What a velocity dip. Now, I can't believe that there's human beings out there that don't understand sarcasm. But I threw this tweet out there saying it reminds me of Spencer Howard with that velocity dip in the fifth. You got Mets fans in my comments, quote tweeting, what type of idiot is this? It's a joke. It's a joke. You think I'm relating Spencer Howard's velocity dip of mid-90s to 89 mile per hour within 18 pitches to what Jacob deGrom does? Let's use our brains, people. Let's do that. But his slider, 92, 93, coming after some of those fastballs, nearly impossible. So just stay involved. Do everything you can so when you get to the pen, maybe you get that shot. And they did get that shot. It just failed when that shot came. But if it goes back to, all right, heading into this one, what was the game plan? They kind of executed the game plan. Aaron Nola, be a great Aaron Nola. He was even better than a great Aaron Nola. So let that confidence continue to build. All those strikeouts. How disgusting is that pitch on the inside part of the plate to left-handed batters that comes back and either catches the inside part of the plate or even more of the plate? The movement, it's ridiculous. But they just freeze because it looks like it's coming 5 feet inside, and then out of nowhere it glides and bang, it's right on that outside part of the plate. If he can effectively accomplish that pitch over and over and over again the way that he has all year, you're going to feel great about him in a playoff series following Zach Wheeler if we have the luxury of setting up our starting rotation the way that we would love to instead of needing those guys down the stretch to even get in. Which may end up happening when it's all said and done, which would be awesome because you need that big time. You need to set it up the way that you do. I tried to go back and forth on, do you try and get home field advantage? And these are all hypotheticals, and you have to see context and where other teams are when you're looking at the last series of the year or the last 2 series of the year. But I'm conflicted about keeping your foot on the gas, or if it, so be it, means you're in a road series, but you get your number 1 and your number 2. Is that way more beneficial than being at home, but you might have to start a Kyle Gibson or a Ranger Suarez in game 1? But what did the other team have to do? Did they need to use their starting pitchers to solidify the home field advantage? If it is I don't know, an Atlanta Braves that you're battling with, or whatever the case may be. See, the problem is it's hard to do this and think so far ahead out because, let's be honest, we don't know how it's all going to shape up. But these are the thoughts that go into my brain every morning when I'm having my cup of coffee and when I'm relaxing. That's where we're at. That's what we saw. We saw a team today in the Phils show us that they're hanging around with this really good team. And I'm giving the Mets credit. They are a really good team. They are a top team in baseball. And I wanted to see how they would measure up against a team that does a lot of good things well. Or does a lot of things well. Does a lot of good things well. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense too. So I'm giving them credit, which makes me sick. I don't want to do that. I want them to suck. I want them to blow. I prefer the Mets to be a laughing stock of Major League Baseball. It's my personal preference, but they're not. And on the road, what would the Phillies look like? They win an extra, and they lose coin flip, and they win a coin flip. Wheeler, Show me something, baby, which I have no doubt I'll see. All right, we'll go to the Anytime Hotline. It's a quick turnaround because of the game tomorrow afternoon, so I won't keep anybody too long. We'll go to the Anytime Hotline. Before we do that, though, if you're looking to buy tickets to go to any event out there, you can utilize the promo code BROADS at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off if you are a new user. So that eliminates all the fees that you get hit with, which nobody likes, and you can utilize that money for parking or for beer. It's a no-brainer. Get yourself to a game today. All right, here we go. Let's hear from you out there. The Anytime Hotline on the 1-0 loss.
Hey, bros. I mean, nobody likes a 1-0 loss. It's one of the most boring games that you could possibly, just grueling, man. Watching Jacob deGrom tear apart this lineup for 6 innings, I believe. But man, did Aaron Nola put on a clinic tonight, man. Really bounced back after that first inning. Amazing game from him. I mean, you're not going to win them all. This is a game going into tonight. We really didn't expect to win this game. I'm happy they went out there and they fought, and in the ninth, they got guys on second and third. They did their job. Diaz is a hard guy to get a knock off of. Just go out there and get him tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think we can really put some runs on tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I do have a problem with your statement, though, that this is boring. Nobody likes a 1-0 game. I was highly entertained. Watching Aaron Nola, I'm drooling all over the couch. My wife looks over. She thinks it's the dog, but no, it's just me sitting on the edge going, this is bonkers. Look at these two back and forth, 1, 2, 3 innings, especially after, you looked at a few of those innings with Aaron Nola and you're talking about close to 20 pitches in an inning. But then, as he kind of got into a groove, you saw way less, and it's keeping the pitch count low, and he works his way deep into the game. I mean, I don't think a pitching duel by any means is boring. If anything, I am highly entertained, and sometimes I prefer it. Not just the fact that it could be a shorter game because it's just nonstop 3 up, 3 down, or one guy gets on, but then there's a double play ball or something along those lines. But, the 12 to 10s are crazy, and the 9 to 6s get wild, and there's beauty in those styles too, don't get me wrong, but give me this where two dominant pitchers are looking at the lineup with fire in their eyes, where who's going to make the big mistake, and then what player will catch up to that mistake. Because sometimes, even within a duel, a pitcher hangs one, but the hitter just misses it. Or maybe he wasn't guessing that pitch, maybe looking fastball, but it was a hanging curveball over the heart of the plate. But because they just got fooled by it because they were preparing for something else, it still hung there. And another batter maybe thought differently and would crush it. Like that stuff happens all the time. So when it's back and forth, who hangs one? Or who, does that one thing wrong? And to be fair, when you're looking at the Phillies in general, the way the Mets generated that first run, overall, as an entire 9 innings played out, it looked like the Phillies were the one to do that and couldn't catch back up. And when you have a dog like deGrom, sometimes you can. And sometimes one run is enough of a hole, right? How many stories have we heard about deGrom doesn't get the run support? And there was a time where Aaron Nola was the hot topic of not getting the run support. How weird is that? It's almost like that all played out right in front of our eyes. But I'm going to have to disagree with a 1-0 game being boring. I love it. What's next?
Hey, Birds. Honestly, I'd say probably our best loss of the year. Yeah, we didn't win, but Nola was disgusting. And, we faced the best pitcher in the league, I'd say. Sucks that Castellanos couldn't come up big there in the end. And he's got to figure out how to hit a slider away. He strikes out on that pitch way too much. But it was a good fight. Like I said, probably best loss of the year. Can't even be upset. Mets don't have Diaz tomorrow. We have Wheeler. And hopefully we can win the series. Maybe Schwarber will start. Who knows? That'll be a great addition to end the series.
I don't think Schwarber's too far away. Maybe it's not this series. I would be pleasantly surprised. I'm not banking on it. I wouldn't be the most shocked human being ever, though. I mean, he did bat today, so it's clearly taking steps in the right directions, and the strides are moving the way that we would like to. But I'm not going to bet on it. We'll see how the full-on lineup plays out. So I just want to read a couple tweets here just to give everyone a sense on where some of the fans are and maybe where some of the fans aren't. Here was my tweet after the game. No shame in the end result. Phils competed their asses off in a coin flip. Nola pitched extremely well. Wheeler tomorrow with a wide eye emoji. We got, yeah, indeed. Y'all stepped your game up this weekend. I'm impressed, actually. Didn't think the Phils would compete this hard. Tomorrow is the true test for the Fightins and Zach. Mets win tomorrow, going into Atlanta with momentum. We're going to look to emphasize on that lead. This is coming from a Mets fan. I can't tell you that the Mets are winning tomorrow. No. I disagree with that side of things, but it looks like a Mets fan is giving us a little bit of some recognition here and maybe a golf clap for the way that they've handled themselves and the way that they've approached this weekend series to this point. Joseph agrees with me, but Castellanos has to stop swinging on that low pitch away. But that felt like playoff baseball so far in New York. Joseph, yeah, I mean, that is something that is truly a good feeling. Think about it. We're all dying to watch the next game. We're all dying every single pitch. Every moment matters. I hate Citi Field. I hate the people sitting in the stands in Citi Field, but they're loud. They're energetic. When there's a big strikeout and deGrom's walking off the mound, it gets hectic. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of this team, young kids, learning what is that? Oh, this is an away game when we're getting to the back end of August. It's not playoffs, no, because it'll be intensified by maybe 15 more. But you're seeing the progression of maybe what a June and July series feels like to a late August in a wild card hunt. And there's only one way to learn in this league. That's to get the experience and to go play. And to feel those emotions. To get that adrenaline kick. To be a little nervous, a little excited, a little confident. Combination of all three. And being able to do your job when all three of those emotions are flowing through your body. Because you're a human and that's real. Not going to hide from it. It happens. But the best can control it and limit it. Also use it to their advantage. There's a lot that goes on. But I love the fact that you're getting that, though. From an Alec Boehm, who has stepped up amazingly. And a Stott, who I'm just obsessed with watching every single day I can. So we'll see how it all shapes up tomorrow. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you on